Thanks so much, guys, for 121 subs. I really appreciate all the support I've gotten, and for all of you guys tuning in for just the random episodes that I post. I do want to note this will be one of my last videos. I plan on doing other things, but I just want to make this last video to inform you why I'm doing this and to show you what's happened recently, pretty much. So yeah, stay tuned and check it out. Episodes ago, I showed you guys. Well, I told you guys that I was going to hire a VA, and I finally hired one VA after spending several hours communicating with people, asking them to check out my job post and interviewing them. And I wanted to show you a little like system or checklist that I made to determine whether or not I wanted to hire that particular person. I think in total I communicated with about 10 people. Some didn't show up to the interview at all. Some said they had like Wi-Fi connections. Actually, that was just one person. And some I didn't really feel like pursuing because they just didn't seem, I don't know, like sometimes you have that gut feeling where you know something is wrong, or like they're lying to you or making themselves be or seem more experienced than they actually are. So you kind of get the feel for it. I mean, at least I did. Like when they communicate to you and how they respond. One of my biggest pet peeves on Upwork, a site where you hire freelancers, is that some of the freelancers don't even read your job post. They just like send you stock or like recycled cover letters explaining what they do, how long they've done it for, etc. And in my job post, I put specific questions and I asked them to like answer these questions, or else I would ignore them. Sometimes I broke that rule, I shouldn't have, but then like there would have been no one on my list to check off. In the end, I ended up selecting a VA that one of the Titans Tribe members recommended to me. Um, Titans Tribe is basically a Facebook group that Paul J. Lipsky started um, in conjunction with his eBay Dropshipping Titans course. If you're completely new to dropshipping, eBay dropshipping, I highly suggest you check out that course. I'll put it down in the link below. Just so you know, I do get a small commission if you sign up with that link. But if you do, it has no additional cost to you, and it helps support me in my, well, I won't be doing an eBay dropshipping channel, but if you like the content that I have put up so far, it will help me in the future projects I pursue, and I would highly, highly appreciate it. So, where was I? Yeah, I got a recommendation from another member on Titans Tribe. I really like that group because a lot of the people there, like, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but the few that I have talked to are very knowledgeable, and it's like a really, really tight-knit community where everyone is willing to help each other out. And I think that's the most valuable part of the whole course, besides like the step-by-step video courses that Paul offers. But that, I think in itself, was worth more than the $200 or so dollars that I initially paid for it. And I feel like that has given me so much more return for my money, that it's completely worth it. Side fact, I actually thought of like signing up and then canceling before that total video watched period that it says on the bottom when you first register. But then again, like I thought about the value that it added, and I'm like, nah, let me stick with this guy, let me not cancel. Sorry, I'm trying to find my flip-flops. Where's my flip-flop? Oh, there it is. Oh, I gotta go to work soon. Crap. So yeah, definitely check out that course if you're completely new. If you don't want to spend money, that's completely fine too. That was another reason why I wanted to end the course. Before Paul J. Lipsky, I watched No BS Dropshipping, Mark, who has the software, who's the owner of the software DS Genie. I'm sure you'll come across that as you begin your eBay dropshipping journey. You'll come across different softwares. I started with that one, and then I started with DS Genie in conjunction with DSM Tool, but then I noticed DS Genie didn't really have all the functions that I wanted, particularly being able to rewrite titles and see at the end like how many characters you have left. I would make a video with my gripes on DS Genie, but I just feel at this point it isn't worth it. I want to try other things, and I'll get into that later. But DS Genie, if you have the money, I guess, if you have the money and you're willing to spend it and it won't hurt your bank account, then definitely go for DS Genie. But I would say hold off for now until they fix their repricing and all of the major issues with it right now. The software I'm currently using is DSM Tool, and I find that even though like for 3 days now it's been really slow and just inaccessible to dropshippers, because I don't know what they're doing. I honestly don't know, but for the most part it's a very easy to use software. It's very intuitive. It has a nice layout compared to DS Genie. So I quit DS Genie and I got Zik Analytics for eBay research, eBay competition research, and that has really helped. It's only about $25 or $29, and I feel like they lay out the statistics better. Like you see it in a more clear and visually attractive way. So it's a lot nicer to look at, honestly. And I feel if DS Genie were to improve their layout, that would really help. Just like with that one little thing. But anyway, I digress. Let's get into the VA sheet. Okay, so what I did was drop the stats and a little comment on each of these. I'm using my finger as if I can like drag these on my laptop. Anyway, I'll use my mouse now. I put each person's name. I don't think this sheet is actually necessary, but I got VAs, and then I put their stats or any relevant stats that I thought were valuable. Job success, for example, total earned, hours worked, hourly rate, and I used that as like a starting sheet, a starting ground, something. Hold on, where am I? Okay, so I started doing that, and let me shrink this actually. Okay. So yeah, the most important criteria from what I was able to see, I plotted in here, and I compared different VAs. So I put numbers here just because I don't want to just like publicize their names everywhere. So those are hidden. There were names here, don't worry. And then I left some notes. I don't even know which one this applies to, but it was one of these. I'm sure there was a star in one of these. And then the second part, which I think was more important, or the most important part, is what I felt about the VA before the interview and then after the interview. So before the interview, I based them on these criteria. So technical skills, do they know how to dropship? Are they familiar with optimizing? Are they familiar with sniping? Communication, just overall how well they communicated with me and how well their English seemed from their correspondences. So for communication, I usually based it on the first VA that I talked to, because the first VA had really good English, like for a person whose language is not native English. So I based all of them on that one person. And also, you kind of get a feel for it as you continue exchanging messages with them, and you definitely get a feel for it during the interview when they're forced to like type back to you within a certain amount of time, because you can't drag an interview on forever. Whereas you can take a really long time to write a very polished letter. But yeah, another criteria was problem solving, work assessment, initiative. Initiative, I really liked how the first VA reached out to me. I asked the Titans tribe member to give me her name if she was okay with it, and I was going to Facebook message her, but she ended up Facebook messaging me first, and I found that's really good on her part in initiative wise. So I gave her a 5 for that, and then I kind of based everything else around her again, which I don't know, maybe that's kind of unfair, but that was my baseline that I was going to compare the other ones to. And then self-management, and this would have been my overall rating. As you can see, I got kind of lazy, but then again, a lot of the people I interviewed, like after interviewing them or after seeing their responses on Upwork, I was just like, I don't think so. I don't think you're a good match. So here I wrote some comments. This first VA actually came from a site called onlinejobs.ph. That's where she initially was working, and I read some of the tests that she took that determines like your overall personality and how you work and whether you analyze more or like what your strengths are. So this is the final comment or what I gathered from reading all of that. And then I left some more comments like did not answer all questions, English is meh, sorry for my very basic language, answered all questions plus 4 years experience. I hate when they say 4 years experience and then on the interview they're like, oh actually it's only 2 years experience with eBay dropshipping. So it's kind of really hard to gauge just from that job, the response they give you on the job post. So the interview really saves you a lot of time. And then like I gave them stars based on like people, like how badly I wanted this person to join my team or to be a lister for me. And yeah, no show. That was the worst. I woke up early too, but I got other stuff done, so it wasn't that bad. And then I would recommend having an after interview, whatchamacallit, rating session too. So here you would do the same thing. I should freeze this. I don't know if you guys like want this, what do you call it? Excel sheet? What do you call this? What am I doing? Freeze one row. So I'll freeze that row. What the hell? It's freezing the wow. Freeze, fine, freeze 2 rows. Okay, so I'll freeze that row and you can see that all of these numbers still apply to the same criteria. And basically you want to see if your first assumption changed after the interview for the better or for the worse, and then you can, after this, come to a conclusion on who you want to pick. But like I said, Upwork people, Upwork VAs didn't really impress me that much. That's why if in the future I do want to hire another VA, I will likely go to this site, onlinejobs.ph. According to the Facebook group, this seems to be a really good site to find VAs for a lower cost and no fees, so they get 100% of what you pay them. Whereas Upwork, they take a fee. I think it's around 20 or so percent, and it definitely forces the VAs to charge a higher fee, and also for you to pay a higher fee. So Online Jobs PH, I will look into that later on when I need it. And sheet 3 is just empty, so I won't go into there. But yeah, Upwork, here you can see some information, and yeah, online jobs. So what else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, when you do hire your VA, start them off with like a minimum amount of hours per week. What I did, after the interview, I gave them a test. So after the test, I really knew whether I wanted to hire them or not. So I gave them a little test assessing their skills, and I don't know if I can pull that up. Let me see if I can pull that up. Word. One of the Titans member actually just like gave me this test. 3 task questions. So yeah, this is the test, and it basically tests different aspects or different I don't know if I'm using the right word, like different skills an ideal VA would have. So task 1 is attention to detail, and basically it asks you to price with the 40% markup, including shipping and not including tax. So basically it tests the VA skills on reading and comprehension, and paying attention to how they do things. So 40% increase, make sure to check the shipping price, etc., if there is any shipping price. And then task 2 is customer service. Basically you walk them through a scenario of a customer's angry for this reason, what do you do? And then they come up with their answers. And then scenario 2 would be same thing. You can look at the questions. If you want, I can post them down below too, so you can download them and edit them to your liking. Use different links, because eventually these VAs will find out that the answers are all the same, and maybe, just maybe, they will copy and paste the same answers from each other. So you don't want that. You want to change up these links if you can, if possible. And for scenario 3, task 3 is listing skills. So this is what I paid the most attention to. Can they list? So you give them access to your DSM tool. I could show you that, but I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. You give them access, and then you ask them to take screenshots. Hold on. I should be getting ready for work. Holy snakes. So yeah, you ask them to take screenshots, right? And where was I? Yeah, you want them to optimize the titles. You want a minimum of 2 photos. You want item specifics to be filled out, and you want the correct pricing, so the 40% markup from before. After all of this, they would send you their responses to your email, and you would grade them like you would in a school or a test or whatever. And you could view one VA's results versus another, and then compare and determine which person do you want on your team. I don't know if I was specific enough here. Use these links to items and then create listings. Do not publish, just take screenshots. Yeah, so I said just take screenshots, and then one person, like, I don't even know what she did. She didn't even use DSM. She just like screenshotted a Word document and put that. I don't know if I can open it. Hold on. I don't know what she did. Basically, it was really confusing. I don't want to open it. I need to get my ass to work. It was really confusing, and I just couldn't make sense out of it. So I went with the first VA, and that's the end of the story. I just want to answer 2 more questions that I got as like a final parting gift for Yvette Rosas. Wow, thank you so much. This video was super helpful. How do you get tax exempt for the remainder of the states that you unchecked? So this is related to my Walmart how to get tax exempted video, and basically you would have to get a resale certificate for those states, but getting resale certificates for those states may be kind of costly in the very beginning. So I would suggest maybe later down the road when you grow and you're making enough profit, maybe you'd want to get the resale certificates for those states. Not resale certificates, I'm forgetting the word. The certificate of authority, so allowing that, basically that certificate that allows you to collect sales tax for that state. But since the rules are changing anyway with the Supreme Court law, I would say just take a loss on them right now, or price your items so that you don't make a loss across the board, or sign up for Paul's course. Not in Paul's course, but in the Titans tribe, which you get access to once you sign up for Paul's course. Search up, and this goes into it right here, Becky Cismaria, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Cismaria, and she posted a video actually of a way to kind of get around that, and it's a very clever way. But if you don't know eBay, and like eBay is just a really huge mess when it comes to like the usability and how easy it is to like find where things are. So I kind of wish they would do something about that, but I guess it makes it better so then not everyone knows, and then you kind of have that edge. So yeah, if you want to find out how to do that, go to Paul's course, buy Paul's course. It's really worth it. I don't promote anything that I don't believe in. And yeah, number 2, Leger's 3. Where can we find that tip that you mentioned about getting around losing money? Oh, so same thing. Allow out-of-state tax exemptions. I have Paul's course and I'm in Paul's group, but can't seem to find the tip you were talking about. Again, it's in the Titans Tribes group. Search Becky Cismaria and you will find it. Actually, let me see if I can go right now. So this is Titans Tribe. 883 members so far. What is this? Go away. And then see here, this is the discussion group. This is where you will find everything you need. Becky sees my, oh, I'm spelling that wrong. Where's the thing? C-S-I-Z. C-S-I. You know what? Let's just search Becky. See? First result. What did I tell you? This is the video. Watch that video, apply it, and you will have so much of a better time. Like, this video alone will save you thousands in the future. And thousands is a lot more than what you're going to pay for Paul's course, which I think is now like, I don't know, $300, $400. Don't quote me on it. I bought it when it was $200 or so. So this video right here, that's it. So yeah, this brings me to the end of my eBay dropshipping YouTube channel. Again, I want to thank you guys for watching, for being part of this community in the comments and everything. And I just want to let you know that I did start this channel to get more comfortable with being in front of the camera and also being able to present. But I also wanted it to kind of keep me accountable for the things I said I was going to do. So that's one of the things it did accomplish. I want to make more creative videos, and I want to make videos that will have a greater impact on people's lives. And I think that if I just focus on eBay dropshipping, it's too narrow of a niche. I hate to be like use markety words or whatever, but it's too small of a niche, and I feel like with my skills and my strengths, I can make a greater impact by teaching people other things that will more greatly impact their life. I don't know if that's a way to better say it, but to have more impact in their lives, basically. Because I know not everyone is business oriented, but everyone does want to, well, I hope that everyone does or wants to aspire to be something greater than what they already are. I think that's really what the meaning of life boils down to be better than you were yesterday, to be better than you were when you first came into existence. So that's what I'll be doing. Don't expect to see anything in this channel for a while, maybe forever. Like I said, think of this as the last video. So if you do want to get more content related to eBay dropshipping, people you should definitely follow. If you're in the US, definitely follow Paul J. Lipsky. He has great content and he even does live Q&As every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Great content, great guide to follow, great course. Number 2 is Mark from No BS Dropshipping. He's like the godfather of dropshipping. He's been doing this for years now, and he uses the sniping method. So he has loads of free content, like thousands of videos on his YouTube channel. Just watching those, like, dedicate 1 hour, 2 hours a day. Just watch those and apply what you learn. And you could, you could definitely just learn dropshipping through his free videos. You don't have to pay for a course, but if you do want that extra guidance and that structure, buy the course. I highly suggest Paul's course. I know Mark has one too, but I haven't checked that out, so I can't say. And then lastly, if you're in the UK, check out Broke to Boss Girl. That's, I forget her name. Oh no, Becky's channel. She is based in UK, so she probably has content that will more reflect what you do in those circumstances. So Becky the Broke to Boss Girl if you're from the UK. And I guess that's it for now. If you want to check out my new stuff, if you're vaguely interested, I might put a video or an update video after this one once I'm done setting everything up. But for now, this is goodbye and thank you for everything. Oh yeah, before I head out to work, I don't know if I made this clear or not, but I am continuing with eBay dropshipping. I just won't be doing videos. I feel like that there's enough information out there for you to get started if you do truly want to get started, and the people that are on there are magnificent at what they do. So the 3 people I suggested, definitely follow them. And yeah, so no videos here. I will be sticking to eBay dropshipping and seeing how that goes, and then I will be starting another YouTube channel. So, the end.
We got another one. When I wake up in the morning, I roll up and count my money.